Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to today's live stream, and I'm going to help you guys with how to get a little more sizzle and sparkle and some swing into what you say when you're playing a guitar solo, okay? Now, one of the biggest fears we have is that we don't want to sound like we're playing a scale when we're doing guitar solos, even though we use scales, right? And the other important thing is being able to bring in some chord tones, right, with your scale as well. So playing chord tones and playing the scales and being able to combine those things. And that's usually the most elusive part of being able to put that kind of vocabulary, let's put it that way, into your playing. So how do we get there, right? What can we do to be able to put a little swing right into what we're doing and put that, that movement into how we want to say something in our guitar lines? Okay, so we're going to, well, first is you're going to need to know a little bit about chords and a little bit about scales for this lesson, in particular a major scale in this case, okay, off of major chords, okay, and different types of chords. So with that said, let's just go to the key of A. Okay, now we need to know what an arpeggio is, which is just basically notes of a chord. Okay, now we want to be able to see the chord shapes, and in this case I'm just going to look at an A major bar chord, and we're here at the 5th fret. Now, how can we say this so that it sounds musical without just sounding like a chord arpeggio, an arpeggio exercise, right? Well, one of the tricks to this is something called a melodic pattern, okay? How do you put a melodic pattern onto the chord or onto your arpeggio, right? Okay, so we're gonna look at a triplet. Now, triplets are pretty common for most of us. We're used to hearing a triplet as guitar players. It's used a lot on the guitar. And it's just a series of 3 notes, right? And the way that you would count a triplet is, I just use a number in the word triplet, right? 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, like that. And it translates to your pick flow. Okay, so it's, 1 triplet would be, you'd want to pick as you're saying it. 1 triplet, 2 triplet, 3 triplet, 4 triplet, 1 triplet, 2 triplet, etc. But that's your pick flow. So how do you put that on like a chord, right? Well, if we have a bar chord like this A major, here at the 5th fret, okay, we want to just say each note in the chord, and I'm going to go from the low E string to the high E string. So it would be 3 groups of 3 notes at a time, right? Move up 3, take a step back, and then take the next 3 notes of the chord shape, right? Okay, move back 1 note, take the next 3 notes of the chord shape. And then do that 1 more time, right? Move back a note and then take the next 3 notes of your chord shape. And we just went through an arpeggio ascending, right? Low to high, with triplets. Okay? Okay. Now, how about a dominant 7, like a A7 chord? Well, we'll just use the old bar chord again, right? Right? And we're playing A7 bar chord, which is just taking our pinky off of that D string and have an A7. Okay, and then we apply the same ascending in triplets technique, right, to our chord shape. And just play the notes of the chord. Real simple, right? Right? Take 3 steps forward, 1 step back. That's a good way to look at how to do this melodic pattern. It's like 3 steps, forward, 1 step back, 3 steps forward, 1 step back, that kind of thing. All right? Okay? And then we're saying our chord in a much more musical way than No charge for mistakes, guys, by the way. Okay. But that sounds very plain and very unmusical to just do that. There's nothing happening with that, but if you put a melodic pattern on it, all of a sudden, it kind of has new life. It starts to move, it starts to swing a little bit, right? And that's what we're looking for. Now, here's another part of this exercise that's going to help you blending your chords in, right, with some scale tones. And we'll just stay on, like, say, this A major bar chord, okay? Move up in the melodic pattern of these three groups of notes, right? And then move down in a major scale. And just go down to the D string, and what did I do with the scale? Well, I put the same melodic pattern on the scale. So we're using a melodic pattern on the chord shape, and we're using a melodic pattern on the scale. And then you want to be able to just combine these, right? Like I said, just go to the root note on the D string, then do this with any chord that you want, and you'll find that you'll be able to start expanding, really, your chord and your scale vocabulary, okay? So having a knowledge of chord shapes obviously is helpful, because you can use any chord with this. It can be a major 7, you know? It could be 13 chord, you know, where you put the 13 on your chord, you know. And so on, moving up and down with the melodic pattern on an arpeggio and then putting it on your scales, okay? So in a nutshell, it's a very simple concept that you can really go pretty far with. You can go very far with the concept. So, but this should get you started. Okay, this was really just the idea of this very quick, you know, I was thinking earlier this morning with some coffee, like, what can I give these guys today? Just some kind of quick tidbit of something to help them. That's not going to be too complicated. And I thought about this. So, like I said, no charge for mistakes. I didn't work this out or anything ahead of time. I just decided to come on and go for it and give you something that you can use right now. And on that note, you know, the main takeaway points: melodic pattern, okay, groups of 3 in this case, moving up and down in scales and in your chord shapes. Combine them as an exercise where you can move up in your chord and then down in the scale, okay, and start seeing that. It'll help you see it on your fretboard, and it'll help you start thinking more musical than just straight playing chords and then playing a scale, and it doesn't have any musicality to it. It's more like an exercise. We want to break out of that and make it more natural and more exciting generally. And that's that. Okay. So if you'd like to go further, then you can get on a video lesson like this on YouTube. Of course, I do have Skype. I'm doing live online lessons, and you can contact me with because you can't get questions answered on anything on a video lesson, but you know, one-on-one instruction is what you'll get with that. So focused on where you want to go with your guitar playing. Okay. I have new music out there, by the way. There are links in there. New music by me out there on Apple and on Spotify. Check that out. Okay. There's links in the description. And I'm going to leave you on that note. Like, share, and subscribe if you dig this kind of content, and I will be back out here again soon. Okay. Later.